Hi, hello, and welcome to Quantum Healing Hands Tarot. Today we're going to look at the theme of being a survivor. Everyone in this life has experienced something that they've actually had to not just go through, but overcome. And so I created 5 piles here, and we're going to look at some different topics and stuff, and I'll go into it further. But these are the 5 piles. If you already know by looking at them, go ahead and select down in the description box. The timestamps are already marked. If you need a little bit more help, let's get some breathing and then we'll look at each pile a little closer. All right, we're going to start with 3 deep breaths. All right, so now that we're nice and relaxed, let's go ahead and look at our 5 piles. So in the first pile, I have a rose. In the second pile, I have a fairy. In the third pile, there's a butterfly. In the fourth pile, there's a snake. And in the fifth pile is this ring with all these different waves. I'm just showing it because I feel like it was like the flattest one, but so it's ocean waves. So these are the 5 piles. Go ahead and choose if you need a little bit more help. So what I do is I will close my eyes and I'll ask my intuition which pile to select. And very commonly, I will see a number in my mind's eye as if I was like staring at a light and closed my eyes and that shape's still there. So that's what I do. That's kind of my foolproof way, because sometimes I'll be like leaning more towards something I like as opposed to what I meant to hear. So that's what I have for you. If you need a little bit more time, go ahead and pause it. But usually your first instinct is the one. So all the timestamps are down below in the description box and I'll meet you there. Hi, Pile 1. Thank you so much for joining me. So if you've been watching any of my videos for some time, every once in a while I do mention my love of the show Survivor. So tonight I'm recording this on a Wednesday and it's the season finale tonight. So I just couldn't get my mind off of it. And I thought, why not do a reading all about surviving? And so I wanted to know, like, what have you survived? What have you overcome in your life? And so the 3 main themes, like the motto of the show Survivor, is to outwit, outplay, outlast. So I wanted to know what you did to overcome this challenge in life that you felt like you had to survive. So you chose the rose. It's such a beautiful ring. It has like thorns on it. And I've done a lot better analyzing these items at the end of the reading as kind of a whole, but I will have this off to the side and we'll kind of look at that at the end of the reading. So let's get started. So the first question I asked is kind of just, what is the main theme to what you've survived in this lifetime? So the first energy I'm getting is, when these came out, they actually came out in this order, and it makes more sense to me in this way, because the 5 of Acorns reversed is representing to me that you have probably been misunderstood a lot in your life. And like this leopard who is, roaring, it just makes me feel, it reminds me of like my inner teenager reading, where there's a part of us that is angry and hurt and just wants to shout at our current day self to awaken to the feeling of it being misunderstood, your inner teenager. And I really could see that you probably, I see that like your voice has been challenged probably your entire life. And so that could be really hard to grow up and try and find your own voice and be confident in it. Like if you haven't known how to trust your voice and have been made to be silenced a lot, finding an inner voice that is positive could be really hard and difficult, but that is why this is what you have survived. This is what you have overcome. And so I asked three more questions about this. So this is the theme, that you're in life to survive, you've had to find your voice. And that is no minimal feat, because so many people are silenced in their life. And being able to find confidence and security in yourself, if you weren't given that growing up, can be very difficult. So the first question about this is, how have you outwitted these challenges? So outwit, to get better, or superior with superior ingenuity and cleverness, to outsmart. So how have you outsmarted this challenge? So truthfully, what I see here, it kind of spells out very simply, is I feel like you have learned to create a peaceful home environment so you don't treat others how you didn't want to be treated. And you have learned that working hard has actually given you so much confidence in yourself and strength in your voice. And lastly, what this card is saying to me, because this means gratitude, like the first main word about the Nine of Pentacles is gratitude. And that truthfully is the secret that so many people do not understand, but you have outsmarted this struggle you've had in life of how to overcome not having your voice. And I love that, because this to me is the biggest, smartest trick in the book of how to literally outwit this challenge. This challenge, like I said, if you struggle with negative thoughts because you didn't get to have your voice growing up, so you didn't have, or not, maybe not even negative, but just a lack of confidence in your thoughts, you've learned that by creating a stable environment, by like, you've picked a partner who's probably really fair and treats you well. And then with the 10 of Wands here, this to me is just saying, like, you've just learned how to have consistent hard work. Like, you've shown yourself that you show up. And so how can you not feel good about yourself when maybe the things that were told to you growing up aren't true? Maybe you were told you were lazy, but you're not lazy. And you just didn't want to maybe listen to the way other people wanted you to live. So this is how you have outwitted this challenge in your life. Next was, how have you outplayed the challenge in your life? How have you played better than the challenge that was given to you? If the challenge was having a struggle with finding your voice and confidence and everything that comes with that, Okay, so what I'm understanding from the Lovers reversed here is this card in this position means you're basically at war with yourself, and that's exactly what we're talking about here. Is you just want to be you want to have that strength and confidence in yourself, but you were hardwired a certain way because of the way you were raised. And so the way you have outplayed this situation, what was it? The way you've outplayed it is honestly you've committed to succeeding. Does that make sense? Like, if you were told you were lazy and never going to make anything of yourself, the simple fact that you kept going is outplaying the system, because this structure wanted you to stop. Whoever it was, whoever is jealous of you and doesn't want good for you, they wanted to take away your freedom and self-empowerment, which this is what the King of Acorns means here. This is all about gaining your freedom and your strength. And so you've outsmarted this system by knowing if you just keep good people around you and you work hard and you're grateful, you will get what you need. But the way you've outplayed this is you've kept going. When everyone else has stopped because they've given up, you've continued forward with all of your dreams. This isn't like a dream specific card. This is saying when you're going through hell, you know to keep going. You know not to stop. I think you've been able to identify that your values are very different than the people who made you feel bad. Obviously, because anyone who wants good for you and anyone who's a good person will want good for you. And so if they haven't, and you've had people trying to slow you down and make sure you don't achieve anything, like, they're only doing it by mentally wearing you down. And you have fought through because of this. Because of this intelligence you have of knowing these things, you have the power and drive to go forward. So last is, how have you outlasted the challenges that you've been through? To last longer than, to continue to exist, to be active longer than someone or something. Nice. Literally, this card means self-confidence. So from the beginning of this energy trying to remove your confidence, you're gonna outlast the situation. You identified your values and know where to put what's important. And look, you have self-confidence and progress from this challenge in life. Because this is something that can absolutely debilitate somebody from ever succeeding and making anything of themselves. But you have found, I love it, these two cards are so connected, of just like, you have succeeded in finding out who you are. And truthfully, that is one of those things that if you do enough studying about like self-discovery and spiritual awakening, that's kind of a theme you'll find, that there is a system in place trying to keep people from believing in themselves. They want you to believe in something else, because then you have no sovereignty. Oh, spiritual sovereignty, let alone, autonomy. So I really liked this little reading right here. I'm going to say that this ring the flower, sorry, rose specifically, because it has the thorns. I feel like you are something very beautiful, and you have everything you need to protect yourself. Like, you are, you're doing it right. And if you are, let's say, still in the process of this, like, you know, let's say you're not retired and just living like a peaceful life right now. If you're young, this is your structure for this struggle. You're going to find that perfect marriage and have harmony. You're going to see that just by working hard, you'll produce everything you've ever wanted. You have value that wasn't given to you instinctually, and you succeed in the end. The people who love you will finally see you succeed. And the ones who have been, you know, preying on your downfall, well, I feel bad for them, because they're not going to be happy with your amazing success. So yeah, I think that's it. I just wanted a simple little reading of, you know, how you're surviving. Like I said, the finale's on tonight of Survivor. I've always wanted to be on that show, so maybe one day you will hear my voice on that show. So pile one, this was so lovely. I really enjoyed getting to read your energy and just see that, you know, yes, sometimes people try and take you down and remove your confidence, but like, you got it. You have the intelligence and wits about you to outwit, outlast, outplay, outlast. But so pile one, thank you so much for joining me. It's always such an honor. If you liked this video, I would love for you to give it a little thumbs up. That lets me know that the reading resonated. And if you loved it, I would love for you to subscribe if you haven't already. It's such an honor every time someone joins my channel. So I hope you all have a great day, and I hope to see you in the future. Have a great day. Bye. Hi, Pile 2. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited today to bring you this reading with the theme of survivors. So literally, it has to do with the theme of the show Survivor. I love Survivor. I want to be on Survivor one day. And tonight is the finale. So I couldn't get it off my brain. So I decided to create a theme of how the major challenge in your life, what you feel like you've had to survive. And I have 3 different questions for it about how you outwit, outplayed, and outlasted this challenge. So let's go ahead and get looking at it. For starters, you chose the fairy. Oh, right. I've gotten a lot better at just, I analyze this stuff at the end of the reading, because then it's not, it's less of a guess and more of an analyzing. So the first question is, what was the main theme to what you've had to survive in life? So honestly, just your biggest challenge is going to be learning how to take a rest. How there's this energy of someone who is so, oh, you just take care of everybody. You just make sure everyone's fed. You make sure everyone has what they need. They have a place to sleep. They have clothes. Like, you are a caretaker. You have such a generous, loving energy. And just, I think your biggest challenge is honestly to take a break. You feel guilty when you, if you shut off your phone or something, if you don't answer emails every day. Like, that is a big challenge, because you have to take breaks and rest in life. So let's look further into this. So if your biggest challenge is learning to take a break, let's find out how you have outwit this challenge. How have you figured out how to get past this challenge, to get better and superior by, pardon. So how have you outwit this challenge you've been through, like to get better by superior ingenuity and cleverness? So what have you, wait, oh, that's swords. Okay. I was like, wait a second. Well, I think you have, the way you have basically outsmarted this is by unloading a lot of those challenges that you took on. I think you've really actually kind of come to understand that, and with every ending is a new beginning. And I think you've kind of come to see, like, you know, maybe that person was asking a lot from me. And like, maybe you have learned to end a marriage or end friendships or end a job. But because I feel like you are somebody who's always going to say yes. So if you're always going to say yes, I think you've learned to not put yourself in situations where the things you would say yes to are going to hurt you. So that is pretty smart. That actually is smart, because here it's definitely saying that you struggle with taking a break. And I think so you've learned the only way you're going to take more breaks easier is if you don't take on so much, or you actually release a lot of the things that are taking up your time. Because I really feel genuinely there's a part of you that loves your work. You love what you do. So the only way to do that smartly is to just remove the stuff that is harming you. So next we have, how have you outplayed the challenges in your life to play better than? So the way you have actually learned how to play, quote unquote, play this game, is you've really learned to just be in the moment. Because I think you honestly know, like, you're always going to have a lot on your to-do list. And I think the way you have made it possible to continue going is with each task. And if you haven't learned this yet, this will be what will help you, is be in the moment with every task. Don't be taking on something and thinking about what you've promised to do tomorrow. Tomorrow will come. I promise you that. Being in the moment will help you keep going, because then you're not thinking about all the things you've already said yes to. Just take care of what you're doing in the moment. Next we have is, how have you outlasted these challenges to last longer than, to continue to exist and be active longer than someone or something. So the way that you are going to outlast this, the way that this is not going to like shorten your life and make you more stressed, is from compassion and collaboration. So it's being willing to have some people help you with things, be more understanding of what you're taking on. I feel like sometimes you just say yes to everything opposed to strictly what you should and shouldn't. So like, this is a very, if I didn't really use the word motherly energy, but a caretaker. And this Queen of Cups is that to me. You are somebody who just, you're always looking out for somebody else. And it's, you're doing a lot on your own. So find the situations where you can not unburden yourself. Don't take a something you've taken on and hand it off to somebody else, but ask if somebody can help you. I think help is going to be it's literally going to be what helps you outlast this, is if you ask for help. So I think this is a pretty clear message. So let's see. The fairy. To be present and collaboration. And, I always have to say what truthfully comes to me, because this was not coming to me at all before. But the fairy's really making me think of, you need to go do something fun, like whether it's like a festival or a drag show, but you need to go be in an environment where you can just be in the moment, and in a moment that you haven't really experienced necessarily. Like, I think you should plan that. I think you should plan some sort of outing to a very, fairies event. Maybe even like a Renaissance fair, like something, whichever one of those rings truest to you, whether it is a, oh gosh, what was the first one I said? Oh, like a music festival, a drag show, or Pride is, I think, coming up in the summertime, even though these are timeless. So whichever one works best for you. And then a Renaissance fair. So I think you just need to go do something that's going to create memories that remind you to get out of your natural habits of just taking care of other people. We're actually meant, as much as we are meant to be here and help others and serve others, we're also meant to come here and experience the joys of life, So, wow, I really liked this reading, pile 2. Thank you so much. Oh, I just got like literal a flutter in my heart of joy and happiness. It feels really good. I'm really happy for you. So thank you so much, Pile 2, for letting me channel your energy. It's always such an honor. If you liked this message, I would love for you to give it a little thumbs up. That lets me know that the reading resonated with you. And if you loved it, I would just love for you to subscribe and be a part of my channel. It has just been absolutely amazing every time I get a new subscriber. So thank you for being here. I hope to see you in the future, and have a great day. Bye. Hi, Pile 3. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to bring you this reading with the theme of Survivor. So it literally is about the TV show Survivor. It's the finale tonight. Can't stop thinking about it, and so I just wanted to create a theme with the Survivor motto of how to outwit, outplay, outlast. But truly, I wanted to look at what you have survived, what you've gone through, and what has been basically the biggest challenge in your life, and how you are going to make it through that, because we are all meant to succeed in the challenges given to us. So let's go ahead and get started and look at all that. I've been looking at the meaning of the rings at the end, because I feel it's a lot better to have actual analysis rather than just guessing. So the first card I asked was, what was the main theme of what you've had to overcome? So I think immediately this just tells me your biggest challenge in life is kind of just, where am I going? What am I doing? I feel like you can look out and see so many different possibilities, and that can be overwhelming, because some people are born with they know exactly what they want to do from 5 years old. There are people who get to 50 years old and are like, I don't even know what I want to do. And I feel like that's kind of one of your biggest fears and challenges, is where you're going and the confidence and to move forward and making a choice with that. Yeah, I see that you do have the optimism, which you need. But I also get this feeling you're kind of afraid to slip and fall because, like, I can imagine, honestly, like a giraffe, like, the taller you are, the harder the fall. So that's kind of what I'm getting is you have this, like, energy of, like, someone who can see far and knows exactly how to get somewhere, but it's just about the self-confidence right now. Maybe you've stepped in a couple, unsuspecting holes in the ground and you've hurt yourself and you're like, that sucked. I don't want to do that again. So I think it's kind of that's why this is the biggest challenge for you. But don't worry, I asked more questions. The first one was, how do you outwit this challenge? How do you get better by superior ingenuity and cleverness? How do you outsmart this? Immediately, I agree. So it is actually smart to go slow. I feel like you take a step and you kind of look around and see if you enjoy it. And so by going slow and steady, by taking frequent breaks, you don't get overwhelmed. You are not trying to gas yourself out. And I think you actually want to go somewhere far. I know you do. And with this, and if you don't know that yet, this is what will be the smartest route to figuring it out, is just going slow. Just contemplate different options, like write them all down and look at them and kind of see the foresight of where it's going. That's one of your gifts, is that you can, maybe you want to go into realty, and like, what does it cost to get the license? How much time on average does it take for someone to sell a house? That stuff. I feel like it's just about planning and going slow. That's how you're going to do this smart. That's how this challenge is going to be overcome intelligently, because a lot of people just think speed is everything, and that's not always true. Next, I asked, how will you outplay this challenge? How are you going to play it better than the next person? All of this is just saying self-reflection. So I think that's actually something that other people don't do, and they actually give up on. Like, this is something you're going to be able to do stronger than somebody else, and that's reflecting on what you're doing and how you're enjoying it. So don't ever let anyone make you feel guilty for reflecting on what you're doing. Like, don't ever let anyone make you feel like you have to move faster or anything. Like, you go at your pace. I really see that you are answering the call inside of you. You know you're meant to do something. And I think that could be really complicated when you don't know what it is. And so maybe that's kind of what has been happening, is you've kind of been stirring, and like, maybe you are, in your 20s, and that's a time when it's like, you really want to know what you're doing, because you feel like, oh my God, 30 is coming. And if I don't know what I'm doing in life by 30, it's all over. And let me tell you, that's not true. So let's see, anything else? The last thing, because it just, again, it really says, like, if you're going through a challenging time, just take rest, because if there's anybody you can talk to who has, succeeded in a way that you want to, I would suggest talking to them for any advice and help and guidance, because, there are people who have come before you who know exactly what you're going through. And they may just say, take it easy. But because you are going to take it slow and steady. Every step along the way, you will be able to analyze properly, and you're not going to make a misstep. So the next question is, how have you outlasted this challenge that you've been through? To last longer than, to continue to exist, to be active longer than someone or something. Truthfully, this is actually going to be a huge benefit to your outcome, is that you aren't going to commit to anything that isn't right for you. And so you may get a lot of criticism on like, just pick something. It's like, you are going to overcome you are going to overcome this challenge of not knowing where to go by not committing to something that you're not 100% ready for. Because I really do get the feeling that when that thing comes along, that job, it's going to speak volumes to you. You're going to have no doubt in your mind that that's what you're supposed to be able to do. Like, okay, so the butterfly, what I'm getting from that is that the butterfly does not rush becoming a butterfly. It lives its life as a caterpillar, and then, as we all know, it creates a chrysalis around it, and it, completely deteriorates its body, turns into goo, and reforms into a whole nother creature. And this is not a process you can rush at all. And so I feel like the world could be looking at you thinking like, oh, your world's over. Look at that. You've just given up. You are going under, and you're laying down and giving up. But you're literally not giving up. The caterpillar has to retreat and rest to become the butterfly. And that's what's happening, is when you come out of this time, this challenging time where you're needing rest, you're going to be able to literally fly high and see everything. You're going to be able to see all the paths that you took. You're going to be able to see every choice that you made and where it got you. Because you didn't get married too young. You didn't buy that house when you weren't ready. You didn't jump into that business with your friend that they swore was going to be great for you and they've already quit. You are somebody who's going slow and steady, and it's going to pay out. So I think that is the message here for you, pile 3. Super clear from beginning to end. Just rest. Go slow and steady. I'm sure giraffes can run, but for the most part, you see them kind of just chilling. They can run. It's possible. But they're chill. So just take this chill life. Take this life chill. Don't rush it. The, tortoise and the hare. You just go slow. You won't miss any shortcuts. You will. I think this was a pretty clear reading, pile 3. So I loved it. Thank you so much for letting me channel your energy. It's always such an honor. If you liked this message, I would love for you to give it a little thumbs up. That lets me know that the reading resonated and you enjoyed it. And if you loved it, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and join me on this journey. It is such an honor, and honestly, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. So I hope to see you in the future, and I hope you have a great day. Bye. Hi, pile 4. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to look at the theme of survivor, what you have overcome or your biggest challenge in life, basically. So the theme is all about survivor because I love the TV show Survivor. And tonight's the finale, and so I couldn't stop thinking about it. And when I can't stop thinking about something, I usually just turn it into the theme of my reading. So we're going to look at how you outwit, outplay, and outlast the biggest challenge in your life. So let's go ahead and get started. So I don't analyze the rings until the end, because then I'm able to like look at it all and see how it pertains rather than just like making some random guess. Analyzing rather than guessing. So, but the first card we have is, what is the main theme of your biggest challenge that you are surviving? So the Six of Acorns is in this. Ooh. So the Six of Acorns in this position is really just talking about kind of like letting things go with the flow. Like avoid forcing a situation, or like, this to me is very much the energy of like people who are trying to manifest something and are like doing mood boards and spells and, you know, writing it down every single day and being like, this is going to happen. I know it is. And wondering why it's not showing up. That's the energy of this card. And so in this position, so it's really important. I think that's going to be kind of, that is hard to want something so badly and to wonder why it's not showing up if you're doing all these steps in the secret and following all these things. And there's a lot about manifesting that is not really explained, because so much about manifesting has turned into a very like hip and modern thing, when manifesting is it's a real thing. You can really do it, but there are kind of outlines of ways to do it successfully. So let's look into that a little further, but I'm excited to see what this is all about. So the first question was, how do you outwit this challenge? Like, how are you getting better and with superior ingenuity and cleverness to outsmart this situation? So the way that you actually are outwitting this challenge of yours, of like kind of trying to forcefully manifest something, like that's just the struggle you have. I don't think this is like something that's going to hold you back in life, because here what I'm getting with the Five of Cups is, I think you've kind of started to learn that it's about the way you look at your situation. Is your cup half empty or half full? So, because one of the things I was kind of saying about manifestation is, it truly is about being grateful for what you have. And with the Five of Cups, it's like an image of 3 cups knocked over, but there's still 2 standing up. And, oh, look at that. 2 standing up, 3 knocked over. How perfect. This to me is just saying that once you are able to, or you have started really looking at your situation for the good that is left, it's really noticing that, okay, so maybe you lost some friends, but you still have the love of your life. Do you see? Because if you can see it like that, rather than going to your partner who is with you and being like, I don't have any friends, doesn't this suck? Then you're just not appreciating what's in front of you. And I think that is how you will outsmart this situation of trying to manifest things and it not happening. I think you're going to kind of learn like, oh, I have to be grateful for what's in front of me rather than wish for something I don't have. And that actually is the secret to manifesting. The next question I asked was, how will you outplay the challenge in your life? How are you going to play better than just kind of this situation in the game of life? Yeah, so truthfully, I'm aware that you are trying to manifest something that it's like the same thing. You've been trying to manifest this dream for a long time. And so, because with the Temperance, like, this card is saying, like, you have a long, dedicated vision to a goal. And you are going to be able to keep going on that journey of finally getting to your goal of manifesting this dream of yours. I think by truly being able to embrace that this is your purpose. And maybe you've heard the saying, like, what's meant for you will never pass you by. And if you've actually been able to embrace that, you'll see that you were supposed to lose those friends. They weren't going to help you achieve your goals. And so there will be times when you want to kind of force a situation, but you I think have learned that patience and just doing things like methodically, and if the steps are saying in the recipe to let it simmer for 45 minutes, I think you are finally learning to let it simmer for 45 minutes. I feel like maybe in the past, and this is just a metaphor, but maybe in the past you've tried to look up, like, 45 minutes, that's a long time. And you've maybe tried to, like, hurry that process. You throw it in the microwave to speed it up. It's never going to turn out the same when you force something to happen. So I really feel like you are learning to kind of see the ingredients you have on your shelf already. I feel like there may have been a time when you looked around at what you had and you're like, I can't create anything from this. Or maybe more particularly, I can't create the dream and the vision that I want from this. And I think there's a part of you that's like, okay, I have to look at this as half full. I can't be looking around my home and saying, I don't have such and such. I feel like you are really actually learning, maybe I do have the ingredients to create something great. Maybe it's not going to be what I want, but it is going to be what you need. So lastly was, how are you going to outlast this challenge that you've been through? To last longer than, to continue to exist, to be active longer than someone or something. So the way I see that you're going to be able to outlast this challenge of kind of really wanting something and kind of trying to force it, like, that's going to be a constant challenge for you. I think by really learning to embrace that there are options everywhere, and by understanding that you're going to do things that maybe people aren't going to agree with, by just embracing it and accepting it, you're not going to feel limited by it. This is like disorganization and this is organization. So I really feel like this is kind of just saying, like, you're going to find a balance with the expectation that may have been put on you. I think you're maybe going to be able to see, like, maybe a part of your goal and your dream was put on you by somebody else. And so that's why you've kind of just had to readjust of, like, okay, let's stop this crap. What do I want? And I think by truly, like, actually spending time alone, knowing your options, like, I really see you, like, getting to work with some creativity. And I feel like you maybe used to be a little bit more mismanaged with things like your money and the way you would keep up your home. But I think what's really funny is if you learn to organize your home, I see everything else just kind of falling into place. It kind of just plays into the, like, appreciating what you have. So rather than looking around your home and being like, ugh, this isn't the home I would want when I'm, rich and famous. It's like, okay, but this is the home you have now. So embrace it and treat it like it is good enough, because you don't know what could happen tomorrow. You may live in that place forever. Treat it as if it's good enough, and the universe will give you more. Like, that's just a kind of consistent theme here of, so with this snake, I'm just getting this kind of story of like learning to shed your skin regularly, like kind of clean out your old way of thinking regularly. Maybe once a year, kind of reflect on like, okay, how do I see my version of success? And if it doesn't really match up with who you are, shed it, let it go. And I feel like there is, by doing that, by frequently, maybe once a year, just get your hair trimmed. Kind of, you don't have to cut it all off, but make sure you are finding ways to literally shed that energy from your aura. Yeah, because that's all I'm really seeing with the snake theme. Let me see. Maybe, truthfully, I kind of feel like the snake is going to mean something a little bit more to you than I actually know. But if that does sound right, I feel like this pile just kind of has this energy of needing to understand, like, there's more than just that one dream you wanted. I think you could really fulfill a lot of different passions, and actually all connected to the one. But I think you're going to really find out that life is just about creating as a whole, not just accomplishing one goal. And yeah, that's what I'm getting, pile 4. I hope this resonated with you. Yeah. This, what I'm hearing in my head really is the kind of need for protection. I feel like there may be a sort of like outside energy that is kind of like mentally exhausting you and kind of causing a little bit of mental fog. So this is hematite. It's a really, it's heavy, and I think it absorbs a lot of negative energy. And so, and the snake kind of represents that, of like protection. So that's what I'm getting here is, maybe you have been having a little bit of mental fog because of that. So that's what I got for you, pile 4. I really enjoyed channeling your energy. It's always such an honor. If you like this message, I would love for you to give it a little thumbs up. That lets me know that the reading resonated. And if you loved it, I would just love for you to subscribe to my channel. It's such a blessing every time someone subscribes. And I love this journey, and I would love for you to be a part of it. So I hope to see you in the future. Have a great day. Bye. Hi, Pile 5. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm really excited to bring you this reading with the theme of Survivor. So truthfully, the reading's just about your major challenge and what you have to overcome in life, but the theme is Survivor because today is the finale of season, 44? I love the show, want to be on the show, gonna be on the show. And so when I can't stop thinking about something, I usually just make my reading the theme of it. So this is all about what you have had to survive in your life. So let's get a look at it. I've been looking at the rings at the end with a kind of overall reading opposed to trying to guess in the beginning. So it's more of an analysis rather than a guess. So the first card is your main theme of your challenge in life. So when the King of Shells is reversed, it's kind of just talking about how, like, being passive in life means life is going to pass you by. And it's kind of important to find out what makes your heart beat and what draws you in. Because if you just kind of sit back and just exist, you might not ever find that fulfillment that you see other people indulging in. Yeah, because if you're not experiencing those riches of life, it could definitely leave you feeling very uncaring. Because if you don't see people giving you care, it's really hard to give it. Let's keep going. So I wanted to know how you outwit. How do you outsmart and overcome this challenge? Yeah, I see that you've definitely been hurt. And so I feel like you've maybe been married before and, you know, you were all in and committed and your partner was not. Maybe they fell in love with your friend or left you. And because this is all about like abandonment. But what I'm seeing for the way you're going to outsmart being passive in life is by walking away from the crap that hurts you. That's just plain as day. People are going to hurt you along the way. That doesn't mean every single person is out to get you. And to overcome this challenge, the way you're going to survive is by noticing when people are not caring for you. Pay attention to the warning signs. People do give red flags. They show you who they are. Listen when they tell you who they are. So next I asked is, how are you going to outplay this challenge? Again, you are going to be able to overcome being passive by accepting that sometimes you have to walk away from things, by accepting that sometimes things have to end. Because if you accept that it's going to end, something new will have the room to come in. So just like water, you just have to transform. Water is one of the most transmutable elements we have. You put it in a circular bowl, it becomes a circle. You put it in a square bowl, it becomes square. It can take on different forms. And I think just what is coming to me is there needs to be a flexibility rather than a passivity. Rather than just like, oh, well, this is what happens to me, because that's not true. Life happens for you. And I wish everyone could see a year ahead to something they're going through that's hurting them, because I promise you, every pain brings something good. It's true. That's just the way this system works on this planet. And you have to believe it to see it. Does that make sense? So next I asked is, how are you going to outlast this challenge? Speed, action, air travel, movement, swift change. Change, change, change. All of these are saying change. So I think maybe that's what the waves can mean, is that the ocean doesn't ever stop going in and out, but it also goes in and out at different heights. I think you are learning how to respond to the changes in life. And there's something here about a relationship. What kind of relationship, that is all on, to each individual, but the way you're going to not live a passive life is by taking action and knowing that you have the ability to walk away from the things that make you feel like crap. Water is so transmutable. So I don't know if you've ever heard of the water experiment, how you can speak different energies into water, like I love you, I hate you, you're ugly, you're amazing, you're wonderful, saying a prayer to it, and the molecules will look different after each energy is sent to it. And this is science. This is not woo-woo crap. I hate that saying, but you know what I mean. You get what I'm meaning, is that, and we are made up of water. So start speaking into yourself who you want to be, where you want to go, sharing that love with you. I feel, because this energy just is somebody who you've become possibly passive because so many people have left you. And I feel like you just are kind of like hurt. And I would love to be able to open your eyes to see that anyone that's walked away from you, it is the universe removing them from you because they are not meant for you. Trust me. And that theme is just kind of over and over here of like, you're going to change. Things are going to happen and you're going to be a new person every day. It's a blessing of life on this planet, is that you get to wake up and be whoever you want to be every day. And sometimes it just takes walking away from people, knowing that with every door that closes, a window opens. And when you get inspiration to do something, I think you should try it. Go after it. If you haven't taken a trip somewhere, I'm getting the energy that you should take a trip somewhere, preferably to somewhere with water. And I really feel like you're going to start opening up. Like in this picture, I think that'll help you. I think what's really going to help you kind of outlast this situation is just moving quickly. Like, I feel like you're going to get an idea and I feel like you've already gotten this idea to go on a trip somewhere. Go take a short trip. I think it'll really kind of help you reimagine what you're doing, because this is just I feel like a depression kind of. So I just feel like you need to go somewhere with a lot of sun where you can remember who you are and know that anyone who's walking out of your life, just let them go. It only means someone good is coming in. So pile 5, I think this was just a really short, simple message. And if truly, I think if this is your biggest challenge in life, like, you got this. Because this is a product from a lot of events that have created a very detached, sad, depressed person. It only happens because of other things. But what I'm really loving is it's not you. You're not a bad person. You've just had a lot of crap happen to you. So I feel like if you just kind of take a trip and like get revitalized, like speak love into yourself and know that you're worth it, because you'll be able to transform. I love it. Pile 5, thank you so much for letting me channel your energy. I hope you were able to get something out of this message. If you like this message, I would love for you to give it a little thumbs up. That lets me know the reading resonated with you. And if you loved it, I would just love for you to subscribe and be a part of my channel. It's such a blessing every time I get a new subscriber. And so, yeah. I'm excited to see who wins tonight on Survivor. It's the season finale, and hopefully you'll see me on there one day. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the future. Have a great day. Bye.